We coming again. Who wanna roll CDC coming again? Young who wanna roll job, we are coming again. Who wanna roll mama Joe, we coming again. Open the roll CDC coming again. Dale ho control China coming so.
Good evening, and welcome to a very fresh edition of the CDC Hour. The CDC Hour is a 60-minute package that looks into activities within the Congress for Democratic Change and issues affecting our country in general. Today is Monday, June 9, 2025. I'm your host, Ishaka Sharif. I will be right back in a jiffy after a bit of our theme song. Thank you so much for joining us. Today's show will be very firing, and because we have a lot of running issues, prevailing issues in the country that border on governance, that border on national security, and everything packaged together today. And as you may be aware, in the last 48 hours, 72 hours, the developing stories that have affected the Congress for Democratic Change, the Liberian state as a whole, I've been very, very cardinal to discuss today on this show. On Friday, seven lawmakers from the House of Representatives were invited by the Liberian National Police to appear at the police headquarters on the bypass. Invitations were extended to them, and in the confines of the rule of law, being on the side of the law, they went to the police headquarters and availed themselves for questioning. Basically, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Dixon Wulawuli Sibo, Representative District Number 16, Montserrat County, Honorable Abu Bana Kamara, Representative District Number 15 of Montserrat County, Honorable Frank Safoko, Representative District Number 9, Montserrat County, Honorable Jacob Debbie, Representative District Number 3, Grand Jida County, Honorable Josiah Marvin Cole, Representative District Number 2, Bong County, and Honorable Priscilla Cooper, Representative District Number 5, Montserrat County. Those 7 lawmakers were invited to the headquarters of the Liberian National Police, and when they got there, the Liberian National Police, having done their interrogation, first told representatives, Frank Safoko and Josiah Marvin Cole to go home, that they were not interested in whatever that might have been against them, that they were invited for, so they should go home. They were free men to go home. And so those other 5 representatives, including Councillor J. Fonati Kofa and Priscilla Cooper, Dixon Sibo, Abu Kamara, and Jacob Debbie, were held. First, they were told, you guys can go home. You are free. You can go home. But when they were coming out, police officers restrained them. They prevented them from going home. They said they were needed back. That was because there was a strict instruction. From members of the executive branch to hold them and arrest them. Because uh, the government of Liberia is not interested in finding the perpetrators who may have got at the Capitol building. The government of Liberia's main aim, their main purpose now, is to diminish and to disgrace certain people and settle score. Their intention is to diminish the speaker, the former speaker, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa. Their intention is to disgrace lawmakers and members of the Congress for Democratic Change, because there was a very bitter legislative impasse that culminated into the burning of the Capitol building. And so the government is not interested in finding who burned the Capitol building. We got to be clear here. This is not anything to mince our words. The government of Liberia is not interested in finding those who may have touched the Capitol building. Because if I say may have touched, meaning I'm not even sure as to whether the Capitol building was burned as a result of human factor. It could be an electrical fault. It could be anything else, right? So it has not been established that the Capitol building was burned down by the actions of human beings. So now, but the fact of the matter remains that the government is not interested in finding those who burned the Capitol building. Why did I say so? I say so because the impasse at the legislature, mainly the House of Representatives, was between two different sides. The self-styled majority bloc, led by Richard Nangbe Kun, who's now Speaker of the House of Representatives, Senator Samuel Koga now, James Collet, Fode Fambule, the rest of the guys. And on the minority side, was Councillor Jefonati Kofa, Dixon Sibo, Musa Belete, Abu Kamara, the rest of the people. And so, if the government is investigating this kind of case, right, the first thing the government should have done was to ascertain information from people of the two sides. But you still have members of the self-styled majority bloc who are still perambulating and passing free without being asked any questions. Okay. And a lot of information came. Could the Capitol building have been burned down by the majority bloc members to implicate members of the Funatikova bloc? Yes, it is possible. There is a huge possibility. And so if the government is firmly interested in finding the perpetrators of these heinous crimes, if at all the Capitol building was touched by human action, if the government is interested in finding the perpetrators, the first thing they need to do is to launch an investigation, a very impartial investigation, oblivious of any side and what they think. If you want to arrest, don't arrest people from one side. Of course, do not arrest people from one side. Richard Kuhn had just gone to West Point a week or two ago and confessed that they created the embarrassment. They created the situation he was apologizing to the country that they created the embarrassment. The Liberian people should sorry. And so why were people from Richard Kuhn's side not invited by the police? There was a police commander who commanded his troops to provide security protection for the Capitol building from the 17th of October 2014, when that protest took place on that Monday. When the police dispersed the protesters, the security forces, led by a commander sent by Gregory Coleman, the Inspector General of Police, and the police slept at the Capitol building. They closed all entries to the Capitol building, and unfortunately, the building got burned in the night. Right? The first thing there should be a situation report from the police commander who was commanding his troops to the Capitol building. Right? But even through the entire scenario, we saw on live camera police officers, well armed, who invaded the Capitol building and beat on, physically assaulted. They physically assaulted members of the House of Representatives that are on the Fonati-Kofa side, including Representatives Yeke Koluba, Jacob Debbie, Josiah Marvin Cole, and the rest of the guys were mercifully beaten in the corridors of the House of Representatives. If security forces that should be protecting lives and properties, protecting everyone, will go and beat on lawmakers, and while beating on those lawmakers, they were protecting people from the other side. We could see P. McJury, who's now the chairman on Ways, Means, and Finance at the House of Representatives. Representative Thomas Fowler, who is the deputy speaker. Those people were being protected by the police as a result of direct instruction from the executive in the name of having a budget hearing, while those lawmakers from the Fonati-Kofa side got mercifully, they were beaten unmercifully. And so this is the situation. We have reached this point. Is the government interested in finding those that burn the place? No. What is the government interested in? The government interested in disgracing people. The government is interested in vengeance. The government is interested in settling scores with people. That because Fonati-Kofa did not agree to resign in time when he was being lambasted by the government, when he did not resign in time, so it is like he disrespected the president and did not resign in time to give them the opportunity to do what they wanted to do. And when Richard Coons spoke on the West Point sports page, when he said they were sorry, they apologized to the Liberian people for causing such an embarrassment. In the midst of that embarrassment, the government has even stolen more than $200 million of public money. So they decided to create a distraction so the government could continue to steal. And this is where the issue is. This is where the issue is. They continue to steal. They continue to steal. The police is involved directly in abuse of power. The police is abusing power. They are abusing their authority assigned to them by the Constitution of the Republic. We were not stupid to say so. The police should be protecting everybody. Look at how they physically assaulted the chairman of the Congress for Democratic Change, Attorney Janga Kowo. Janga Kowo, who's the chairman of the CDC, had gone in solidarity with members of his party who are legislators and being taken to the Monrovia Central Prison. When Janga Kowo reached the UN Drive opposite the Barclays Training Center, the BTC, the police deputy inspector general of operations, right? Nelson Freeman. And this Nelson Freeman guy has a very terrible history in the police. Nelson Freeman has a very terrible history in the police. Nelson Freeman ordered for the physical assault on the chairman of the CDC. The chairman of the CDC was beaten up, bundled up, and placed into the pickup of Colonel Nelson Freeman. The blue pickup which you saw the chairman was being bundled in is the pickup assigned to Nelson Freeman. So what Gregory Como released today as a statement is a sham. It was a well-calculated plot to have treated the chairman of the CDC in that way. And we know some of the police officers who did that. We know some of the police officers who did that. You should not be abusing power. The police has been politicized and weaponized against the opposition. The police has become a political tool, a weapon of the government, a weapon of the executive, not to protect lives and properties, not to protect the security of the state, but they have been weaponized to get at opposition members and people who are physically seen as opponents of the government. So this is a situation that's been permeated in the country. The security forces are being weaponized against citizens who are seen as potential threats, to the power, who are seen as opposition to the government. The government is not interested in finding people who may have burned the Capitol building. No, not at all. The police is not interested in that. And let me tell you something today. The government is persecuting Funati Kofa and the rest. They are not prosecuting. There's a difference between prosecution and persecution. Prosecution is a process in which people are taken to court and they go to court to answer to their crimes. At the end of the day, whether they are guilty or not guilty, that is the prosecution. They are prosecuted for crimes they may have committed. Persecution is to use means, to use propaganda, to use force, to use power to get at somebody because they are your opponent and you see them as a threat. So these people are being persecuted. They are being persecuted and disgraced because the government has issue with them. It is not about justice. This is not about justice. This is about politics. This is about politics. Because if the government is interested in a judicious handling of this matter, they will apply the fundamental rudiments of the law. But when you miss out, when you ignore the fundamental principles of the law to apply it to prosecution, then you are being political. And the politics of it is that Kofa won our speaker. We do not want him. He's not our speaker. He's not from our party. Rachel Kuhn said it. He said Kofa is an opposition speaker. And so the government need a regime speaker. And so he is the regime speaker, because an opposition speaker will not perform the function and will of the government or the executive. The government's agenda will not be formulated and implemented if you have an opposition speaker, which is a big, black, blatant lie from the belly of the devil. So this is what the government is thinking on. Kofa is an opposition man. He can't be our speaker. Let us remove him. And because Kofa went through a process of respecting the law by saying, if you do not have the 49 votes to remove me, I will not resign. So the government took it personal that this guy is challenging the government. So we have to reduce him. We have to reduce him. We have to do everything to disgrace him. So the government set out a chronology of plans to reduce Kofa and members of his supporters who are seen strong, very strongly standing with him. Yes, Kofa resigned through the mediation of a lot of different people, a lot of different players. Kofa resigned. Right? But they said, look, this guy, we got to reduce him. Kofa is disrespectful. Dixon Sibo is disrespectful. Abu is disrespectful. But let me tell you today, there's a lady called Priscilla Cooper, who's the representative of District Number 5 in Montserrat. Do you know why Priscilla Cooper was included amongst those 4 lawmakers? She was included to make it look like the government is balanced. I mean, there is a unity party lawmaker there too. No, it is a sham. Priscilla Cooper, that's the reason why when they arrested them at the central, at the Monroe, I mean at the police headquarters overnight, while Fonati and the rest were sleeping, they released Priscilla Cooper to her lawyer. They said, go home. And Gregory will have to bring a very flimsy excuse this morning. Oh, there was no female cell at the police headquarters or at the Monrovia Central Prison, so we had to let Priscilla Cooper go home for her lawyer to bring her. On Monday. What kind of flimsy excuse is that, Gregory? You think we're stupid here? You think everybody's a dummy in this country? We are educated people in this country. We know the rudimentaries of what you're doing. And even after the police investigated this matter, as a matter of fact, the fundamental mistakes came from where, look, police do not investigate arson cases. Fire case, then you say police investigating. What does police know about fire? But Gregory would sit there and his police, fire is investigated by the Liberian National Fire Service. Submitted by the National Fire Service to the Minister of Justice, because the Minister of Justice is a supervisor, the boss of the Fire Service Director, is the boss of the police director. But the police investigate a fire case when the fire service is here, and so they made their own clue. The investigators at the Liberian National Police were divided because there was no clue even after the investigation. Some of the investigators said, but Chief, this investigation did not lead to any clue to arrest anyone. Gregory said, you're leaving. I'm under instruction. Gregory said he is under instruction. By whom? By members of the executive. Even though there was no clue to arrest anybody, anyone. There was no necessity to arrest anybody. But Gregory said, gentlemen, I am under instruction. And the very police is divided. People are giving information. People are giving information. The police is divided. Make no mistake. The police is divided. People are giving information that even after the investigation into the fire incident, the investigators remain divided. Some of them said, look, Chief, we cannot put our reputation and profession on the line. This investigative report does not point to anybody to be arrested. The report is vague. So there is a need for more investigation. There's a need for a deeper forensic investigation. But Chief Gregory, this report has not led to any clue to arrest anybody. Gregory said, I am the Inspector General of Police, I am their boss, and so I'm working under instruction. I do what I'm told to do. Meaning he's not acting on the basis of the law. He is acting on the basis that he's instructed to arrest those people. Point blank. Gregory, we don't want to know, but arrest them, detain them, disgrace them. Not because they are guilty or they are not guilty, but because we want to diminish them. We want to disgrace them. So do that. But Gregory, let me tell you today, there is a tomorrow, Mr. Police Director. Look, the security of the state is not by guns, by having guns all in the street. No, that is not the protection. That is not a protection. Gun cannot protect. Gun is not the one that protects governments. No. But Gregory, your profession, you have damaged your profession. Many know you in this country to be a very professional police officer. But you have damaged your profession by working on instruction and not on the basis of the law. Then you go on radio, we will go for people who will make statements to undermine the police investigation. Look, come on, Gregory. You can't arrest everybody. You can't kill everybody, Gregory. This is our country. The country is not for you alone. You are not the first police director. You will not be the last police director. There is a tomorrow. Nothing lasts forever, Gregory. Nothing lasts forever, Nelson Freeman. Nothing lasts forever. Tubman spent 27 years in power. It was over. Tubman was the longest serving president in the history of the country by serving for 27 years. 27 years ended, Gregory. It ended. Tubman left from 1971 to 1980. Gregory, Doe left from 1980 to 1990. Taylor left for 6 years. Ellen left for 12 years. Georgia left for 6 years. So there is a tomorrow. Administration will go. Administration will come. The government of Liberia is just one. The government of Liberia is that shape in which all administrations come and sit to run the country. You will not remain police director forever, Gregory. And what I know today is, Gregory, the state will lose the case because you have no evidence. You are playing politics, Gregory. You are playing politics. You have absolutely no facts. You have no clue. You have no evidence against those lawmakers. And so the state will lose the case. But you know why? Gregory, listen to me. The state will lose this case against Fonati and the rest of the guys. In years to come, listen to me. In years to come, whether it is the next 5 years, whether it is the next 10 years, whether it is the next 12 years, whether it becomes the next 15 years, but Gregory, in years to come, the real perpetrators will be found. Trust me. And when the perpetrators shall have been found, I know, I'm very sure today that police officers will get implicated. Gregory, you have gone against your conscience. Look, man's biggest enemy is his conscience. Gregory, conscientiously, Gregory, you know and I know that you are playing politics. You are playing politics. You need to take a step back. You need to take a step back, Gregory. You can't run the police, you can't run the country like a police state, Gregory. The investors people are talking about, the one investors who come to the country, you're running of the police operations. Gregory, we even make investors to think twice coming to the country. But let me again, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. I'm talking to Gregory. I'm talking to Gregory Coleman, Buster. That's how they call you. That's how they call you, Buster. You know and I know that you are playing politics. You are playing politics. You are not prosecuting this case in confines with law. Because if you are prosecuting this case in confines with the law as a government, Gregory, by now, people from the majority bloc, like James Colette, would have been arrested. Yes, Samuel Koga would have been arrested. Gregory, if you were not playing politics, Gregory, by now, Fode Fambule from Bon County would have been arrested. Oh, Gregory, listen to me. Gregory, if you were not playing politics, by now, Clarence Gar from Margibi County, District 5, Thomas Fala from District Number 1, Lofa County, who's Deputy Speaker, by now would have been arrested. Gregory, you are playing politics. My friend, you said at the helm of the police. Gregory, you have the power. You have the guns. But Gregory, you know. Mamela Tona, that's a real thing, Gregory. You know and I know, Gregory, that you are playing politics. You are playing politics, Gregory. And look, listen to me. And you know who is helping to destroy you, Gregory? Your 102, Nelson Freeman. Nelson Freeman is helping to destroy you. Nelson has a very terrible history in the police. You remember when he was... Do you remember November 7, 2011? November 7, 2011. Nelson Freeman. Nelson Freeman was disarmed by the unmanned Nigerian contingent in the headquarters of the Congress for Democratic Change. Do you remember Maurice Groma that was shot at the headquarters of the CDC in 2011? Nelson Freeman was disarmed. If he were not had he not been disarmed, this Nelson Freeman, who is 102, had he not been disarmed, he would have killed more people on the grounds of the CDC. He has a very terrible history. Nelson Freeman is one of those that is going to destroy the government. And I never knew that these guys are scared until today. I never knew that. When we entered the court, when President Weah entered the court today, when President Weah entered the court today, with all of the noise they've been making people scared, setting roadblock, firing tear gas and things, anybody go to the street, we will kill you, we will do this, we will do that. When President Weah entered the court today, the guy was like, Mr. President, you didn't need to come here. The president, because the president, I came to sign for my people. I came to sign on that behalf. I came to sign for my brothers and carry them. It went smoothly because last night, the Central Bank of Liberia, again, they released a statement that no insurance company should issue any surety bond without approval by the Department of Insurance, I think, at the Central Bank of Liberia. And so they were going to deny their bond this morning. The judge was set to deny their bond this morning. But when Bakugbe appeared at the court, when the Messiah appeared, when the country giant appeared at the court, the judge said, Mr. President, you did not need to come. You did not need to come, Mr. President. I will sign the bond. The judge signed the bond. I will sign the release order. The judge signed the release order. The president said, I did not intend to come here because, look, I only came here and I came on a low profile because I did not want this place to be overwhelmed by seditionists and my supporters. So I came on a low profile. You could see some riot gear officer picking up the riot gear and submitting into cowardice. When Bakugbe appeared, that was what happened today. We were at the court. We were at the Monrovia City Court today. That is the strength of Bakugbe. Bakugbe is a friend to the court. I can assure you that. But, like I said, the government, the state will lose this case. And when the state loses this case, ladies and gentlemen, today is June 9, 2025. Hear me and hear me well. Let me make this prophecy. The state will lose this case. And in years to come, the real culprits, the perpetrators that burned that building will be found. And when they are found, law enforcement officers will be implicated. Trust me. But for now, the government is not interested in finding the perpetrators. The government is interested in settling scores, in vengeance. The government is interested in disgracing certain people. That's what the government is interested in. It is not about legality. The government is not interested in the legal jurisprudence of this. In the legal prosecution of this case. No, the government is not interested in that. The government is not interested in that. So, Bakugbe entered the court. Everybody submitted. It was smooth, like licking an ice cream. We marched, we drove, we went to the Monrovia Central Prison. Comrade J. Fonati Kofa, Comrade Dixon Wulawi Sibu, Comrade Abu Bana Kamara, Comrade Jacob Debbie. They were released. They came out and encountered a very jubilant crowd, chanting slogans, chanting their names like messiahs, because they are political prisoners. They are prisoners of conscience. But citizens, make no mistake. Make no mistake. This is not intended, this is not about Fonati Kofa. This is not about Abu Kamara. This is about diminishing your party. It is about bamboozling your party into submission. It's about targeting your party. The president of Liberia before told 2 senators whose name we will not call. He told 2 senators, he told them, look, he said, I will make sure I wipe the CDC from Liberia's political surface. But Mr. President, make no mistake, no man born of a woman can erase the CDC. It's not possible. CDC has been through turbulent times more than this one. Like after the 2005 election, the CDC did not even have a national executive committee. It took us time to assemble the national executive committee. We were on this road before. So seditions is about diminishing your party. It's about obstructing the capacity of your party to respond. It's about obstructing the capacity of the party to win election in the future. It's not about Fonati Kofa. It's not about Dixon Sibo. These are minute people. Fonati Kofa is an atom. It's a molecule of what they want. No. Fonati Kofa is not the government's main target. No. The main target of the government is the CDC. The main target of the government is George Weah. They say, if we break Fonati Kofa because he's speaker, he's a CDC speaker, if he remains speaker, George Weah's popularity, George Weah's consonance will increase. So let us break Fonati Kofa first. Let us diminish his support. George Weah's supporters. Then, at a later date, we can target him. Seditions is about George Weah. And I know seditions. Listen to me. We've been listening to you. The party has heard you. Oh, the party is weak. The chairman is weak. No, seditions. The party is not weak. The chairman is not weak. The National Executive Committee of the party is not weak. Do we need a rebranding in the CDC? Oh, yes, we do need rebranding in the CDC. Yes, because we need to attract different people from different persuasions. Yes, but this is not about Fonati Kofa. It's about your party. Do not allow yourself to be coward into submission. Stand with your party. Your party is not weak, oh, citizens, your party is not weak. Your party is very strong. But George Weah is playing very smart. If George Weah was not playing smart, by now we would have been saying a different thing. You have to understand that we are a party that lost election. We lost an election, and so certain base of the party was diminished, disenchanted. So to get them together, it takes time, it takes consultation, it takes a lot of resources, both moral and financial resources. Citizens, you have to understand this. It's about your party. You have to stand up. Citizens, you will have to stand up. So if you are there, call us. You can come. If you are listening to the show, this is the CDC Hour on Kings FM 88.5, or you can get us on Facebook Live. You can call us on 0772-239933, 086-3044-97, or we have a lone female line on 0777-980375. Your calls are coming in now. Hello.
Yeah, this is Dave my account calling from the Shishik.
Welcome to the CDC Hour. We have no time, 45 seconds.
PC for society to be better, we need radical move. You know, God, I don't know why the president is so better way. Somebody so happy. When you were to hear that me, President, we are one and picking up helping. But today you see us to be enemy of the sin. So what we need to do is look at what he did to our chairman Janga Ko. Put a lamba, the Boaka. So I think we all have to calibrate, come together, so we can see what to do for the future. Okay. But we cannot sit to bad the Boaka, he regime.
Thank
so
you so
that
much.
will not happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. We have another caller. Good evening. Welcome to the CDC Hour.
Yeah, good evening, Ishaka. Well, Mohammed
Donso, you have 45 seconds. No time.
I just want to say this to Laban people. Let me President Boaka, let him do what he want to do. How can an 80-year-old person who had it say, well, evil man for his a person in this world? So the one thing I gotta say this evening is all the physicians should be together to wait on the 2029. Let Boaka do what any other thing want to do it. Because I can't even imagine this type of thing. So by wait.
Okay, we lost him. Hello?
Hello, Cdc Hour June.
Yeah, my Benu.
Yeah, I don't know what I mean. You know my boy now, you know the people there, they are free. They don't know what to do. When we enter to the parliament today, they're like Jesus Square or God can't down there. I was just standing and looking at the man, black face, the black diamond face. They confused. They don't know what to do. The man now imagine them to them. Quick. The man calm down. When the man reached to go into the parliament, follow him before we go low. All the prisoners, because I will call our people prisoners, they were behind. That one I'm trying to tell our people in the community. I say that we go together, we'll be in Nigeria.
Thank you so much, my Benu. We got more people on the line.
Hello?
Yeah. I think the guests are in studio there.
No guess yet. I don't want.
Okay, I'm calling your guests because you're teaching us, you're opening our brain. So I tell you, thank you. And I tell my president, thank you, President Weah. Because of him today, we got victory. Because when you enter on the center today, that was not small happiness. The people say, we sing. In the community, all they say, they put a lawmaker there, each. But President Weah today, because he God can't fight. And to God, so that man, I advise all the CDC that well, let hope for president. Because they not able us. Yeah, that's why they said that Janga, how they call it, Safoko. Then they carry Safoko now, they carry them with Safoko.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So they not get a Wednesday. So we be there and we win the case. Jesus,
yes. Good evening, Ishaka.
Yeah, good evening. Welcome to the CDC Hour. Let's hear you. 30 seconds.
You, Ishaka. Thank you very much. Ishaka, I am Spencer Mohammed, and I call from a Popo Kono, down Coast Hill, Wake Up Community. Ishaka, thank you very much. Ishaka, I want to take this time to say a very big thank you and a special appreciation to His Excellency Dr. George Manuel Weah for exhibiting another leadership today. Bravo, Mr. President. May you live long to see 2029 and help to change this our country. And I also want to tell Alexander Kumi, thank you. I also want to extend my appreciation to the former Vice President, Madam Joy Howard Taylor.
Okay, thank you so much. The line is very hard today. So,
hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah,
Yeah, welcome to the
Hello.
Cdc Hour. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm political Bill Kelly Jr. calling for Cloudtown.
Fire.
Hello?
Fire.
I'm breaking in.
I say fire.
People, he said it all. Baga, President Baga came to the country to destroy the country. And there's nothing to prove to Liberians. And live for the summer year in government with no idea, no, even learn from a president at that time, which is Mara Ellen Johnson said it. So involved graduate come to come and be misbehaving in the country here. But you see, people we don't bring the people, we bring the electrics. And the electrics who the 7,000 people, the 17,000 people that voted Boaga that didn't want to put in the province here. Who is you to stop Fanatikova from being speaker?
Yeah, we are out of time. We are out of time. We have more people on the line. We are out of time. Hello? So, you listen to the callers. Everybody is somehow appreciating the former president. Everybody is appreciating his leadership exhibited today and over the time that has kept Liberia very peaceful. This country will not burn. This country will not burn. It will not be under the watchful eyes of Bekugbe that this country will burn. Even though Joseph Boakai said, if he hadn't won the election, there will be no more Liberia. And he's president today. But I was making a lot of emphasis, and this is very important. This is very, very important. Let me say it again. Gregory Coleman, you are Inspector General of the Police. You have the power. You have the platform. You have the guns. But Gregory, I want to remind you. I want to look into your eyeballs and tell you, you are playing politics. You are not implementing laws. Again, this government will lose that case because there is no possibility that the government can win that case. Because you have not, even the first group of people that were arrested, including Tom Etheridge, Ire Suse, and the rest of the guys, all of what you submitted, all of what the prosecution submitted in court were all fabricated lies. They took those boys to the NSA, and it was alleged that they tortured them. It was alleged that they tortured them, and they forced statements out of them against their will. Is that the kind of proof, evidence that government would take to court to suffice? No. I think the government got to think twice. As I speak to you, Mr. G. Bacchus Kape is also in the hands of the police. Mr. G. Bacchus Kape was arrested at his job site at the LPRC. So the government is rounding up people once they get any information against people who are connected to the opposition, they go and round you up. But if they get similar information useful against people who are supporting the government, they give you water to drink. How will you dispense justice like that? This is not the country our forefathers fought for. This is not the country that was established on the principles of liberty and freedom. A Gregory Como, again, you are playing politics. And that politics that you are playing will lead the government to lose that case. Because it is the police that gather evidence against defendants and submit those evidence to prosecution. The prosecution lawyers are the Ministry of Justice. But if you cannot give the prosecution enough evidence to convict people of a crime, government will lose the case. Because the theory of reasonable doubt says the government must prove the case beyond all reasonable doubt, says 100%. The issue of reasonable doubt says 100%. So if the government proves this case 99%, the 1% element of doubt will free everybody. Once there is a 1% element of doubt, defense lawyers will use it to free their clients. So the government is under obligation to prove this case, to gather the evidence and submit them in open court. If the government cannot find the evidence, these people will go free. They will be acquitted. But like I said, listen to me again. I am prophesying that government will lose this case. And in years to come, real perpetrators will be found. And when that time comes, law enforcement officers, listen to me, law enforcement officers could be implicated because there is no possibility that the capital building will get burned down under the direct supervision and security protection of the Liberian National Police from the 17th to the morning of the 18th of October when it got touched. There is no possibility. So the police decided not to question anybody that support the government, any lawmaker that support the government, police officer that support the government. No, that's not that. They're interested in diminishing they're interested in diminishing the rest of the people in order to kill the CDC. And that is the world view of the lion that you have stepped on. Ladies and gentlemen, every good thing has an end. It will come to an end. On the basis of that, against that, I want to tell you that we have come to the end of this edition of the show of the CDC Hour. We'll be back here on Wednesday with a very fresh edition, very firing edition of this show. Until then, I'm your host, Ishaka Sharif. I say thank you for listening. Bye bye.